Payback is 19 days away, and the only reason we're doing this is because another match was added to the card. But before we do, I want to just say one thing on the matter about the recent news that's been going around the death of wrestling legend Vern Gagne, or Gagne, or however you want to say it. It's very shocking. It's very confusing. It's very interesting. I mean, he was very old when we first saw him go into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago. But unfortunately, Vern Gagne has passed away at the age of 89 last night after a long battle with dementia. And, I mean, his career says it for himself. I mean, multiple-time AWA World Champion for sure. But without the AWA, it would WWE would probably not be the way it is today. I mean, it's very interesting, and I'm speechless in sorts, kind of. I mean, former NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, NWA United States Champion, AWA Champion, two-time, God, I mean, 3 Big Team Championships in wrestling, 2 NCAA Championships, represented the United States in the 1948 Olympic Games. I mean, the guy's pretty much done it all in the sport. And it's a very sad day. It's a very sad night for people that knew about this. I didn't know about this until a couple hours ago, actually, when I was about to do this. But we do wish the family of Vern Gagne and the friends and family of Mr. Gagne the best of our condolences. I mean, there's nothing you can really say. But let's get off of that sad moment there, and let's go back to the 2 matches at hand here. The I Quit match for the United States Championship, John Cena against Rusev. Last night we talked about this just because that the match was made on Payback pretty much. But on Raw we learned that if John Cena quits, if John Cena says the words "I quit," then he will waive his rights to the United States Championship because, I quote, he will have disgraced America, he will have disgraced his country, and disgraced its belt. So basically, if Cena loses, he will never go to the title again, which could change the way we see this match, because that would be if you were booking this, like Creative usually does, you would find a way to have Cena no longer face for a championship. I mean, God, he hasn't faced for a tag team title in a while, and I know he's never had an opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship at all in his career. I believe he's never had a shot for it. But he's held a few tag titles in his career. We haven't seen him do that in ages. I think not since Nexus, or not since him and Miz teaming up for WrestleMania hype, I guess, against the Core, and that was a long time ago. But with this match, you could do one of two things here. You could make Cena do the unthinkable. The man that never gives up actually gives and says, "I quit." Or you could have him beat Rusev, and that'd be the end of the story here. And then he goes on to face whoever else. I still believe, because I don't think WWE is smart enough to make him lose the match and then put him back in the main world title picture. As much as I hate to see that, they could potentially do that. But at the same time, Rusev, if anything, we're seeing a dissension, much like we saw a dissension between Miz and Mizdow, who's back to being Damien Sandow, which is awesome. But we could see that same dissension between Lana and Rusev. We won't see a match out of it, but it will be interesting to see what they do with it. The only way I could see this happen, again, is if Lana quits on behalf of Rusev. That is the only way this match will end. Or this will be a 5-hour match, because there's only 2 matches on the card, so you might as well give it an hour or 2 at this point. Why not? And then the match we announced, or actually came about on Raw last night. The triple threat match for the undisputed title. Seth Rollins will defend via an app poll. So this is the first time, I believe, an app poll, at least the first time in a long time if it's happened before, but the first time an app poll has decided a main event of a pay-per-view. To be fair, this isn't a good this isn't a big pay-per-view like WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Money in the Bank even, or Survivor Series or a Rumble. This is a B pay-per-view, much like Extreme Rules is. But WWE has tried to make this pay-per-view good. I mean, I think the last one was last year. And it'll be interesting to see what will happen here. But the fact is, you have voted the obvious choice. And it will be Seth Rollins defending the title against Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. Now, Seth Rollins won the match in the steel cage of Extreme Rules with a diamond cutter or an ace crusher, whatever you want to call it. Because he technically did not use the RKO, he used the SKO, which is it's a brilliant name, a brilliant loophole, and it would have worked if Kane didn't shut up. If Kane just shut up about whatever, cheating and whatever, you're the authority. And plus, think about it. If Seth used the RKO, it's banned in the match, he gets disqualified, he retains his title, which DQs and steel cage matches don't make sense. But you have a reason for it, because he used the RKO technically. So either way, if you even try to argue it, you cannot win the title on disqualification. He retains either way, which was great, which was brilliant, and I loved it. But now you have a punishment for that. You have Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, ironically, in a match that Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank on and won the title against a very weakened Roman Reigns and a very weakened Brock Lesnar, to say the least. And if anything, these men are all fresh. This match is not good for Seth Rollins. Do I think the authority will somehow come out and interfere on behalf of Rollins? Yes. But the betting man in me will have to say that Seth Rollins loses against the odds, and we will have a new champion. Because let's face it, he cashed in on a weakened Reigns and a weakened Lesnar. And to weaken Lesnar says something in that. But at the same time, these men have not been beaten down like at WrestleMania. So you have to believe that this match will happen and there will be a new world champion. I don't see it happening, but it's possible. But one thing we do want to talk about before we end this here is the King of the Ring. The King of the Ring came back last night as well, and the semifinals, I believe, are the four men are Sheamus, Bad News Barrett, Neville, and R-Truth. Barrett will face R-Truth. Sheamus will face Neville, and the winners of that will face off in the finals tonight on. I don't know. It's not a Raw. It's not a SmackDown. It's not anything. It's just an event they want to put on the network because they can't do main event, I guess, internationally still. Even though I saw a main event when we went to SmackDown a couple weeks ago. But the fact is, this is interesting, and I just want to put this in this video because potentially the crown could be on the line on Raw or on anything really. Because let's face it, the King of the Ring is going to be something really special. And we have not had a King of the Ring since Sheamus ironically won the King of the Ring. And it's very interesting to note that Sheamus, the current king, is in this tournament still. I would have honestly thought that they would make him lose the match and they would make something happen here. But the bracket states right now that Sheamus is still in. Can Sheamus somehow retain his crown? I doubt it will happen. I doubt it will happen, but I wouldn't bet against it. Bad News Barrett is also a good competitor. There's no way R-Truth will win the belt. There is no way R-Truth will win this fucking thing. Because it's going to come down to Barrett and the winner of Sheamus and Neville. And if Neville wins this match, what a way to skyrocket his career so far on the main roster. Honestly, I think Neville will win it. I don't know who else will be on here, but Neville to me seems to be the pick to be. But at the end of the day, Payback is May 17th, and at the end of the day, we could see the crown on the line. But will it happen? Only time will tell.